There have been some excellent Formula One drivers from Germany over the decades. 3 world champions, in fact, of course, Michael Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel and Nico Rosberg. Even if you go back to the early days of Formula One, tragedy struck with Wolfgang von Trips and also Stefan Belloff as well. Both could have easily been Formula One world champions had they not met their maker way before their time. However, German motorsport is in a very strange position right now. Despite having the juggernaut of Mercedes-Benz supplying engines to the dominant McLaren team in Formula One right now, and of course Mercedes themselves being in as a works team as well and having massive success with both Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton not German, but you take my point there. They did very well with Hamilton, won a few world championships. You know, it's very much a strange position right now because you've got no German Grand Prix on the calendar that hasn't been around in Germany since 2020. The Eiffel Grand Prix only brought in because of the pandemic. The actual last German Grand Prix was 2019 at the Hockenheimring. And there's only one German driver in the sport right now, Nico Hülkenberg. You've also got Audi joining the sport as a works team next year as well. And Hülkenberg, you know, I hope he's in Formula One for a long time to come. The guy is having a real renaissance right now. Not that his talent ever went away, but he's definitely doing incredibly well and finally got that fabled podium at the British Grand Prix. Couldn't be happier for him. There's not really too many German motorsport stars coming through. I mean, Mick Schumacher came into Formula One, has left Formula One. There's not that many standout drivers coming through the junior categories either. I mean, Ollie Gerfer, maybe. That's kind of it, really. I doubt he'll ever make it to Formula One. No offense, Ollie, but, you know, that's just my opinion, of course. But Mercedes are launching their hunt for the next German Formula One star. Let's have a look, guys, because some interesting quotes here from Toto Wolff as well. Because he says that nowadays it's basically impossible to self-finance yourself through motorsport unless you've got a very rich parent like a certain Mr. Stroll did. And many others before and since him, of course, as well. But you take my point. Let's have a look at what's said here, guys, on the F1Chronicle.com as always. Mercedes has teamed up with Germany's biggest motoring organisation, ADAC, to fully bankroll the rise of the country's next Formula One hopeful. Team boss Toto Wolff says the soaring costs of junior racing, which is estimated to be around €250,000 per year for karting and up to €1 million per year for Formula 4, have priced out all but the richest families. Nobody can afford that anymore without the support of the industry, he said at Zandvoort during the Dutch Grand Prix. As a German brand, we would like to have a German in Formula One again in a few years, someone we nurtured, like Kimi Antonelli or George Russell, Wolff added. We won't do this half-heartedly with ADAC. We'll do this to identify the best. We are brutal in that regard. ADAC, who are the German Automobile Club, already supports German drivers, but now with Mercedes back in, standout youngsters from as young as 10 will be scouted, put through shootouts with identical equipment, and if successful, enjoy a full financial ride through the single-seater ladder. Mercedes CEO Ola Kalanius said that he initiated the program personally. Perhaps we will find the next Michael Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel or Nico Rosberg, he said. We want to inspire and make it clear there's an opportunity, maybe one day you'll be sitting in a Mercedes AMG cockpit. Wolfgang Dörheimer, very German, chairman of the ADAC Sports Foundation, welcomed the move. Normal families don't have the financial resources, he said. For this reason, all those who are financially unable to do so are eliminated early, even if they have the talent. If this talent exists and is identified, then this family no longer needs to worry about financing their career. Wolff also urged German companies to get involved. We'll only continue if we see potential, he said, but more than one individual could certainly be followed long-term if their performance compares favourably with international competition. Yeah, I mean, it's got a massive potential as Germany when it comes to motorsport stars, you know. It seems at the moment, I mean, going off of football at least anyway, and Formula One, it does seem at the moment as though Germany's going through a bit of a lull. I mean, the national team in football's been pretty shocking for quite some time by their very high standards, which as an Englishman that may or may have not given me some actual pleasure with that. But anyway, on a serious note when it comes to that, you know, it is weird with Formula One in Germany. You know, you'd think there'd be more than the Hulk. You think that someone else would have come through. You had Michael Schumacher, of course, being the groundbreaker, you know, the trailblazer effective when it came to that. And there were a whole generation of German drivers coming through after him that I feel like were inspired by him, and Sebastian Vettel definitely being one of them. I remember in 2010, I think there were 6 German drivers on the grid. A quarter of the grid at the time. There were 24 cars back then. The good old days, you know. You had Schumacher coming back. Vettel obviously won the championship that year. Rosberg was a rising star with Mercedes. Adrian Sutil at Force India. Timo Glock. Is that Glock? It is! It was Glock. At Virgin, I think, at that time. I think he was driving for. And Hulk, of course, too, got his debut season in Formula 1 that season in 2010 as well. So a quarter of the grid were German drivers. Now we've got 5%. We've got the Hulk. That's it. Unless I'm forgetting somebody very obvious. But I'm pretty sure it's just him. But yeah, there's definitely no youngsters coming through. That's the thing, you know. We could end up with no German drivers in Formula 1 for the first time, since the 80s, before Schumacher? You know, since back in the days when it would have been known as West Germany or East Germany, depending on which part of the country you were from. But yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe, guys, if you want to see more of this. What do you think about Toto Wolff's plan, his master plan to find the next German Wunderkind over in karting? I want to hear what you have to say in the comments below, as always, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more like this, have a great day in the world today, and check out the F1chronicle.com. For much more news and opinions, of course, check out the F1chronicle.com as well.